What's going on, guys? Today we are at beautiful Chambers Bay, and for today's video we're going to be talking about the differences between the EVFs in the Sony A7IV and the Sony A7R5, and we're going to do a test to see if we can truly see a big difference. So let's get started. In this hand, I have the Sony A7IV. In the other hand, I have the Sony A7R5. They're both very good cameras, very powerful cameras, no doubt, but there are some differences. So for today's video, we're going to narrow down the difference talk between the two EVFs and the cameras. And the question that we're going to ask, and hopefully we're going to get answered, is the difference between the two EVFs really that noticeable? Well, we're about to find out. So today's location, I chose beautiful Chambers Bay because this is going to give us a good variation of what we're looking to see in the viewfinder. So you have the nice water back there, we have the islands back there, and then as we push over this way, we're going to see some of the stronger foreground elements kind of coming up. That way we can really be picky and choosy and see if we can really see the crispness on these viewfinders. So now to the meat and potatoes of the video. I'm going to start off with the Sony A7IV. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look as best I can through that viewfinder, see what I can see what I can notice, and then once I'm finished with that, then we're moving on to the A7R5. Okay, so now first off for the specs, the Sony A7IV has a 3.68 million dot OLED EVF with it. It's pretty good, it's basic, but it works. And this is actually about 1.6 times the resolution as the previous Sony A7III. So in short, it works, it's pretty good, it's basic, and I think it's at the minimum level now where we need, but it still works out pretty good. So we can rattle off all the specs we want, but what really matters is what we see in the real world. So now this is gonna be the test. I'm gonna put it up to my eyes, and I'm gonna see just how much I can see with this EVF. And so far, really what I'm seeing is, I would say it's probably a little bit darker than I like it to be. But when I'm bringing it to the eyes and taking it off, and it's pretty good. I'm seeing about what my eye is seeing, just a little more digital, so to speak. But I mean, all in all, it works pretty good. The base size is good, so kind of looks like you're looking through a little bit of a window, something of that nature, and I really don't have much to complain about it. Okay, so after shooting the A7IV for a little while and just kind of getting to grips with what the EVF is, and looking specifically at EVF related items, you know, getting the brain to be thinking about what am I paying attention to on this EVF, it looks good, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not seeing any issues of refresh rate or anything like that. I think it's a very, very fine, basic, mid to like upper mid-tier EVF. You get corner to corner, you get the sharpness there. Again, there's a big enough viewfinder, big enough screen in there to make it look like you're kind of looking through like a nice window outside of a house into some sort of nice location, all that. So, I mean, the A7IV, as far as the EVF goes, it does the job. All right, so now it is time for the main event. In my hands is the Sony A7R5. I have it attached to the Sony 24-70 G Master, the first gen, and this is also on the A7IV, just so we have parity between the images. Now, back to the A7R5, we have a 9.44 million dot OLED EVF, which is pretty insane, and that sounds really good on paper. It sounds much better than 3.68 of the A7IV. So with that being said, are we really going to see that much of a difference? Well, I'm excited because we are about to find out. The EVF's coming up to the eyeballs, and we're going to see just what we can get. I can see some birds way out in the distance, so if I can grab them real quick. I can hear them before you see them. But everything just looks bigger in this EVF. So definitely the Sony A7IV, I guess a good comparison would be if you're going to a movie theater and you're seeing a movie on just one of the regular screens, but then you decide to go see one of the Avengers movie on an IMAX theater. This is going to be the IMAX, and then the A7IV is just going to be your standard screen. That's pretty much about it. A7IV is not bad, it works, But this one is just, it really is just, there's so much more that you can see off this one. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the video. But the question I have for you is, does the EVF matter enough for you to choose the flagship model over the basic model? And if so, go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. Until next time, this is Sean from Southwestern Studios, and I will see you guys later.